Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We are coming to you from the JW Marriott in Austin, Texas, Restaurant Transformation Festival, hosted by Restaurant 365. I've got an awesome guest. They brought over Massimo. They saved the best for last.
Well, we'll see about that, Shawn. Yeah.
Well, they have high hopes for you bringing what we believe on this show, which is digital hospitality. So much of what we do in the restaurants on a day-to-day basis is taking care of people.
That's right.
What we believe on this show, why we partner with Restaurant 365, why we're excited to talk to you, is that technology allows us to do our in real life jobs better. Tell me about Paris Baguette. Tell me about the brand. What are you guys doing? What are you building? And then we'll get in a little bit to your story.
Sure. I'll tell you a little bit about Paris Baguette. Brand itself started in Korea in the late 80s. It's actually a brand that's got global presence. There's about 4,000 globally. But here in the U.S., they broke ground here in the late 80s and opened a few locations and had modest success. But more recently, in the last 4 years, they've kind of brought on a U.S. leadership team and really have focused on wanting to fill the gap in the bakery cafe space in the U.S. We feel we are pretty well positioned there, as bigger brands like Panera and Au Bon Pain, who used to fill that space, have geared more towards an eatery. So, we focus on primarily pastries, cakes, and breads. And right now we've got about 140 locations in the U.S., just penetrated Canada.
140 at how many years?
So let's say technically the first one opened in 87.
Okay.
They had about, I would say 40 up until 2019.
Wow.
So since 2019,
explosive growth.
We're
Through
almost 100 locations.
Growth.
We did grow through the pandemic. We actually did open
growth.
a few locations, closed a few too,
Yeah.
but primarily open. But have a pretty aggressive growth plan for the Americas. The plan is to try to get to 1,000 locations, bakery cafes in the Americas by 2030.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible. I'm a huge fan of the brand. We have one actually in Eastlake, Chula Vista in San Diego. It's always busy and it's always top-notch quality is one of the things that impresses me the most.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Even from the the strategic pillars from Korea. I mean, part of what has made that brand successful is the intense attention to quality and product. And that's not changed or wavered coming over the U.S. too. That is one of our, strategic growth pillars is quality, and then innovation is another one. But, that's a challenge when you grow, of course, right? We are, growing as a franchise organization. So we've spent a lot of resources, time, and money making sure that as we grow and as we onboard franchisees, that we are maintaining that product quality across them. So I'm glad that you see that.
Yeah, it's beyond impressive as someone in the restaurant space. I mean, we're in the barbecue business, but when I go and I grew up. Actually, there was a French pastry in La Jolla where I grew up, where my grandfather was Bulgarian, my grandmother was Japanese, but they always cared about baguettes and croissants, and I've never been able to find anything resembling until I found Paris Baguette, until I found your brand.
Oh, that's good to hear.
It's unbelievable, the attention to detail, because I've also been to France and I've tasted the quality there, and to see that you guys have been able to replicate that in my own community at such a scale with such high volume, it's very impressive. The results are in. National Restaurant Association show. Kyle and Sarah and myself, we were at the Davos sales tax booth and we were polling restaurant owners on the floor. This was a very unscientific poll, but the results are resounding. Restaurant owners do not like sales tax. Nobody likes sales tax. Doesn't matter what business owner you are, small business, big business. Davo automates the sales tax process. We are so grateful that Davo is the sponsor of this show. They automate sales tax at our Cali barbecue restaurants. It is $50 a month. It integrates with all the major point of sale partners, including Toast. So if you want to sleep at night, if you want to not worry about sales tax, go to Davo, check them out. Davo Sales Tax. Let us know how they're helping automate your sales tax in your restaurant so that we can share your Davo story on digital hospitality.
Yeah, it is a testament to the the focus of the team and frankly the parent company and the unwavering commitment to quality. I mean, the chairman of the parent company in Korea will come over and visit the U.S. and he'll visit every cafe, and at 80 years old he's still focusing on
it's amazing.
This is underproofed or this is overproofed or whatever it may be. But I'll tell you, brand, there's not a high level of brand recognition or brand awareness for Paris Baguette, but when I was introduced to the brand, that was the first thing that I noticed was the quality of the product. I worked for a company prior to that was in the bakery space, cafe space, and we thought we were extremely high quality. But Paris Baguette has been able to replicate that at a broad scale, which that's what made me interested in the company. Not even knowing what the growth plan was. It's just the quality.
How do you become a technologist?
That's a great question.
Was anyone ever asked you that?
Well, yeah, naturally you start as naturally you start in the College of Arts and Architecture. You graduate with a degree in photography.
Of course.
And it segues into
photography, of course. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the
truth.
What
did you want to do with photography?
Yeah, what did I want to do? I was going to shoot for National Geographic.
Oh, really?
My parents clearly didn't want me to be a photographer, but hey, they supported me. I'm in my early 20s and think I'm going to go shoot for National Geographic or whatever. I worked in that industry for about a year running a professional photo lab and said, this is not what I want to do. Yeah. And frankly, outside of, working in restaurants, as a server or, a bartender or helping out management, I like the industry. Right. And I ended up just frankly going to a recruiter and getting a data entry job for another company called Cozy Sandwich Bar that was in the Northeast. And I learned inventory, food cost management, and COGS real quick, manually. And I was working in the food and beverage department, but things just happen. You get lucky. I fell into a project for the IT team rolling out inventory control and just really gradually kind of moved into IT. I have no formal education in the area, but focused heavily on back office operations and platforms for restaurant companies. So, really never had a desire to be in technology. Yeah. It's just, but there are a lot of stories like that.
I didn't think I'd have a barbecue media business,
right?
Yet here we are.
Yeah, there we are.
I'd love for you to talk about the relationship with Restaurant 365. Why are you here? Why do you believe in the software and how do you guys implement it?
Hey everyone, Avi Gorin, CEO and co-founder of Marquee, and I want to talk about the customer journey for a second. You never know as a restaurant owner where your guests are truly coming from. End of the day, we do see some patterns around two types of search behaviors: direct versus discovery. Direct search, for an example, would be jumping into Google and saying Cali barbecue hours, right? I know where I want to go to eat, but I'm missing a key detail. I need a little bit more information. Discovery, which is the bulk of searches, is barbecue in San Diego, restaurants near me, takeout near me, right? One of the best ways to be found for more discovery searches is leveraging keywords. Reviews are basically free content for you to leverage. Think about keywords that are relevant to your brand, your location, and include as many of those in your review responses as possible, right? How can you go about doing this? Let's set up reports, utilize tools like Google Trends, find out what's going on in your area and how you can help leverage these keywords in review responses, because someone else is doing that, right? If you need some examples, you could do anything from including summer menu, gluten-free menu, leverage specific menu items like the dreaded and beloved spice pumpkin anything in your review responses, right? Let them know what's coming. Let your reviewers know something they should come back and try. And of course, if all of this just seems overwhelming and daunting because you're already running a restaurant and have enough on your plate, just leverage the team at Marquee to do this for you. We handle all of this. We're experts in this space. We can automate this so it's just another item that you know you are taking care of. Again, that's marquii.com, marquii.com. Know you. However, we did recently buy marquii.com. So if you do misspell it, we got you. You'll still find us. We can still help you.
Yeah, I think the Restaurant 365, first of all, we had a big need in our business to bring on a platform that allowed us to do inventory control, food cost management, see that true theoretical cost of goods sold. We were doing everything in Excel, not getting any insights out of it, just doing it as a task, as an operational task. And in addition to that, we had this kind of SAP accounting platform that was just a gargantuan platform that nobody understood. We entered information, we paid invoices, but we really didn't get any insights out of it. So we were really looking for a tool that checked a number of boxes, but a few of them would be first and foremost, it's a scalable platform that would allow us to grow our business and our organization, and the company would grow with it, but also give us the tools to drive efficiency operationally. And that's part of what we've done with Restaurant 365. We also have, so in our operation, we bring in a lot of product overseas, a lot of proprietary product. And therefore, we have warehouses and third-party logistics, frozen warehouses that we leverage. So we needed a platform that also had a strong commissary module. There are a lot of them out there, and not many of them do what we needed to do. So Restaurant 365 had it, but they also made a commitment to build on it, to build a roadmap to it, to allow it to do a lot of the functionality we needed that just wasn't out there. So they've been a very strong partner for us, and they continue to be. I mentioned, or maybe not, I mentioned we just penetrated Canada in March. So I
think I cut you off when you were talking
about
Canada.
My fault.
But
we opened in Canada in March, and we'll be continuing to grow that market.
We're in Canada.
So we're in Toronto currently. We'll be opening 2 more in Toronto within the next 2 months, probably have 5 or 6 before the end of the year. We believe we can grow
franchise locations.
There will be a couple of corporate flagship,
Yep.
But then mostly franchise growth. And we believe we can grow into the hundreds in Canada. We need partners, technology partners that can support the growth in international markets, not only from a language perspective, but currency conversion. So Restaurant 365's also made that commitment to build out the currency conversion platform for us. That's what we're working on now. So
that's very exciting.
Yeah, frankly, it's really been amazing to work with them as far as just a partnership perspective. Mm-hmm. I like to pick partners that are in, not these large enterprise level companies where, if we need an enhancement or we need something that's unique to us.
They're not hungry.
They're not hungry. And
they're not
working with other platforms
either, to be honest with you.
That's true. And working with those platforms, I may have had a small request and it'll sit there for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
They're nimble. Restaurant 365, they're obviously investing a lot in innovation and roadmap. And I wanted a partner that we could grow with, and they would grow with us and stay kind of hungry.
That's awesome. What do you see, obviously, for the future of the growth, but anything that worries you coming up?
The growth for Paris Baguette? Yeah. I think we have a lot of white space in the Americas, in the bakery cafe space. The only thing that worries me and us right now is really, it's not a matter of growing the pipeline. We've got a lot of interest. We'll sign franchise deals. It's the pace at which construction permitting and inspections go, which is the challenge. Is it worse in Canada or worse in California? It's TBD. I'm not sure. We haven't opened that many in Canada right now. So it's I'll let you know there.
You'll keep us updated.
Yeah. So that's been a big challenge. Obviously the headwinds on the labor market is a concern, and how do we make sure we recruit and maintain top talent. That's always top of mind as well.
That's awesome. So every single Wednesday, every single Friday on the social audio app Clubhouse, we meet at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's a chance for you, the listener of the show. If you're watching this show, we want to hear about you. We want to hear about your restaurant business. If you're in sales, if you're in marketing, if you're in technology, digital hospitality leaders from all over the globe. Stay curious, get involved. So that means coming up on stage and sharing your story, but then asking for help. How can people connect with you? Are you on LinkedIn?
Yep, I'm on LinkedIn. You can connect with me through LinkedIn. It's probably
Perfect.
the best bet. Yeah.
And then we can follow Paris Baguette on all socials.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
Were you at my presentation earlier today?
No, what was it? Tell me.
That was a question that was asked at the end of the presentation.
really?
Are we on TikTok?
Ooh, I
I'm
like
not
that person.
TikTok yet.
I like that. We're going to get there, though.
We may.
You
We're
have
being
to.
very
You're global-
cautious
you're a
about
global
that.
brand.
right?
Oh, that's true. I understand. Well,
Yeah.
short form video, YouTube Shorts.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go YouTube Shorts. All right. As long as that's cool with us. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
you, Shawn.
We'll put a link for all the upcoming Restaurant Transformation Tour events. Thank you to Restaurant 365, and we'll catch you guys next week.